in the woods with my dog today, had a lovely walk in the sunshine, and I thought I'll go through the stuff that I take in my bushcraft bag. I'm not an expert in bushcraft, I've not been doing it very long, I am a beginner, so this might not be exactly what you'd take. You might want to comment below if I've forgotten anything. I plan on doing a bushcraft course this year to improve my skills, but this is what I'd put in this bag, which is a small Bear Hug Company rucksack for a day trip. If I'm not spending the night in the woods, this will take the gear that I need, but if I'm going on a longer trip, then I would need a bigger bag. So I'm going to cover the 5 C's of survival: cutting, combustion, cover, containers and cordage. That's pretty much the basics of what you need. As you get more experienced, the better you are at bushcraft, the less stuff you need. So I'm a beginner, I need a lot of stuff, but the more skills you have, the less you need in your bag. So cutting, got my axe here. It's just a small sort of forest axe for chopping wood. I've got a little tiny saw, a fold out saw. It's just a cheap Asda one, but that will just cut up logs for making a fire. And then I have a small fold out knife with a flick blade. That's really useful for sharpening points if I'm making tent pegs or chopping vegetables or just sort of crafting things. In this little pouch I've also got some carving tools, just some carving tools there. I thought I'd start off just making a spoon, and I've got a pre-made here, but I will be starting to do more from wood that I find, stuff that I find in the woods. And I have got some gloves in here for cutting. I've got 2 different types of gloves, these thin wool ones, and I've also got some leather ones to stop me getting any blisters. If I'm using pots on the fire and they're hot, these are really good for that too, stop you burning your hands. So that's cutting. Combustion, I've got a little foraging pouch here, and I've already got some birch bark that I collected on a previous trip, just some really dry birch bark in case I'm out and it's pouring with rain and everything's soaking wet, then I can still start a fire. Some birch bark here, perfect for starting a fire. Silver birch, peel off the bark, it's really good. Needs to be dry though. I have a ferro rod here, flint and steel, so that I can use that to start a fire. And I've also got emergency waterproof and windproof matches, just in case I can't start a fire by the natural methods. Whilst I'm talking about lighting fires, I would not be lighting a ground fire if it was not the safe conditions to do so, if there was any chance of the fire spreading. So I would only light a ground fire in the winter or wet, sort of colder, wetter conditions. Definitely not in the summer, in the heat of the summer, when the ground is very dry, all the leaves, all the soil, everything's dry, there's a chance of it spreading. I would take this small fold out tripod, which, let's see if I can get this up for you to show you. So attached the legs, made a little stand, and then you get this mesh, little pegs on the ends, which you push into the ends of the holes, like that. attach these two. And there you can see you've got a fire pit above the ground, not going to have any risk of catching ground catching fire in the summer when it's very dry and spreading. So that is secure, solid, very fine wire mesh on the top so that nothing's going to fall through it. It will take quite a lot of weight. It packs down really small into this tiny little pouch so that you can take that with you to have a safe fire if the conditions are not good enough for a ground fire. And I would then be looking to find some branches with the fork at the top and a straight branch to go across, so that I could, and obviously another one here, so that I could make a hanger and hang my zebra pot over the fire. I'd have to have it a bit higher than that, but I could adjust the height, find a different branch, a higher branch, and make a hanging support for my stove that I can cook on the fire. Cover. So shelter's really important. The weather can change, you can get drenched. So I've just got a simple tarp here. It's a DD extra large tarp and it's 4.5 by 3 metres. So that can make me a pretty large shelter. I can put it up in different configurations and make a sleeping shelter, or just make a shelter to sit under and cook under. I've got a little emergency blanket here, just talking about cover as well, in case you get freezing cold. It's handy to have. Container. So containers for cooking. This pot is really useful. It's a zebra stainless steel, 14cm diameter pot. This one, oh, I've got some little bits inside it. You can use it to store things as well. It's got two different pots. It's got a large pot, a smaller pot which sits on the top, and the lid of it has a little handle where you can hook it up, and this is for hanging it over the fire, so you can cook directly over the fire in that one. I have a water bottle which I will take full of water, but I also carry a filter water bottle, collapsible, so that I can get my own water from streams or lakes, and it filters everything out so it's safe to drink. Oh, well, you could boil the water, but I like to take that one. Little stainless steel mug for hot chocolates and things. And then cordage. So I have got garden twine. You can start fires with that, tie things together. Then I've got the tougher paracord. That's really useful for all sorts of different things. Little paracord bracelet, you could wear that, some extra paracord. And then food. So I've got a long spork, long handled spork, porridge, that's really quick and easy and light to carry, and a dehydrated meal here. Fire pot brand, 560 calories, mushroom risotto. Really quick, easy to do. Pour your boiling water into it. Use your long handled spork to get down to the bottom of the bag and eat it straight out the bag. And then toileting. So I've got this trowel, comes in a little case. It's got actually cord as well, paracord around the handle there, and there's all sorts of extra things that this has on it. It's got a saw, a cutting blade, a ruler, bottle openers, things like that. So it's a kind of a multi-tool shovel, really. And what I had inside my zebra pot is a toilet roll and some tissues for going to the toilet. So I'm sitting on a sit mat. little slip mat fold up so that if it's wet you can keep the bottom dry. And I also take this large tarp so that I can sit down, lay my things out and keep them dry. Put my dog's bed on it to keep her dog bed dry. And Ramir's Essential Bushcraft book, so that I can learn some skills from Ramir's, who's the absolute expert on bushcraft. So I'm a beginner, so I am learning at the moment, and this is an amazing book. It's got really good photographs, it's really clear explanations of how to do things, how to make shelters, cordage, how to make natural cordage, surviving from the land, foraging for different things that you can eat. I'd be really careful eating things until I'm really sure about it. I'll probably do a foraging course as well this year before I try and eat anything out in the wild. And a little bandage. Oh, first aid kit, I forgot about that. I think that's over here. Little travel first aid kit and an equi-wrap bandage for my dog in case she scratches herself, and that's a self-adhesive bandage that will stick to itself. I could use that on myself too if I needed to. So that, I think, is everything. Please let me know if you think I've forgotten any essential items. You can comment below if you've got any questions or anything you think I should add to my day sack. There's a few extra things I'd put in, obviously, if I was doing an overnight camp, but I'll be out soon making some videos of me using this equipment and practicing some bushcraft skills in the woods. So I'm planning a wild hammock camp as well, so it'll be an overnight bushcraft. If you're interested in watching my videos, please subscribe to my channel. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.